Yeah, my name's Bourne.
My name is Brandie Wilkerson.
My name's Trevor Crabb.
I'm Geena Urango.
My name is Toni Rodriguez.
My name is Lexy Denaburg.
My name is Donlan.
James Shaw. My name is Cory.
I'm Simo.
My name's Troy Field.
Quite frankly, I just do whatever I feel like I need to do.
Take the good, leave the bad, grab a drink, of recovery.
Got a little something to prove.
Always got something.
I'm going to get to where I want to go, regardless of what I have to go through to get there.
I want to beat everybody. I want to be the most competitive guy out there.
I'll beat down whatever Olympian comes my way.
Show the world what I got and see if I can actually win one of these flipping tournaments.
I'm pretty damn confident against any player in the world, so I think that's probably pretty nice to have as your partner. Yeah, I'm really excited about the league. Definitely didn't sit well with me. Obviously, I was in a unique situation that I put myself in. Wasn't happy with how my other partnership was playing out. Just to my standards, the energy wasn't, I wasn't growing necessarily as an athlete and as a person, and that kind of just slowly eats away at me. And a lot of that just has to do with me, but based on where I was at, I took a chance playing with the young gun, and we missed the spot. I think it would have been pretty special if I made it with him. No regrets, but yeah, no, I need to be in this league, and whatever city gets me, I'm gonna be all in with them.
Generally speaking, and from what people have told me, I seem to be pretty big energy and pretty consistent in the intensity that I show up with. I also know myself to really feed off of high pressure moments. I feed off of big stages. I like showing up, expressing myself just visually, like how I look and how I play and what I say, and definitely not afraid to get to people's faces if I have to.
Me and Theo didn't always see eye to eye. We're two different guys off the court and on the court. So I think just kind of learning, obviously before Theo I was playing with Tri, who's like one of my best friends, so the chemistry was always there and we never really took things personal. But playing with Theo, there was a few ups and downs where we kind of had to weave our way through those disagreements, and that was another little bit of a challenge, but also realizing hey, you're not always going to be playing with one of your best friends who you can just make it easy with, yeah, that was probably the number one thing.
Toni and I started out the season having solidified our partnership only maybe 2 weeks before the first event in Huntington. And given that we didn't have as much time together, we were a little disappointed with our finish because we knew we were capable of more. And having then given ourselves, a couple more months of the summer to be able to train together and develop our system and our team was really helpful. And I think that going in from Manhattan and Chicago, our third place finishes, definitely gave us this really good confidence boost and this momentum that we were riding into the league. And then unfortunately the league obviously has adversity, right? You're playing in different environments, so you're playing indoors where you're not used to wind. You're playing matches to 15 where you have to basically be neck and neck or jump the gun early, otherwise there's not as much time for you to catch up. Our first couple weeks it was a little bit of a slow start, not just for us and the men's team, so it was a little disappointing, but based off of our schedule, we had a month off actually in between our first 2 weeks and our last 2 weeks. We went in to that month, I feel like really honed in on what we wanted to focus on and making these adversities our advantages. And also we were able to watch a little bit more of the other teams play and really scout them. And that was a difference maker too, was we knew exactly who we were playing on which day. Whereas in a normal tournament, things can change so quickly. We were able to scout a little bit better and then come in with a good game plan and then also manipulate our system in a way to where we were able to utilize the conditions a little more effectively.
Very confident, not in myself necessarily, but in my faith and in the Lord, and that is where I find my confidence and that's where I find my steadfastness. I feel like that's something that Joy and I have that's like very powerful for us because it's something we can really connect on. There are different kinds of strengths, but I also just feel like I'll never stop. Like I genuinely, like I would have to be dying for me to stop, you know? Like I just feel like there's nothing anyone else can do that could make me feel less or to make me want to back down, you know, like I'll always keep going.
Partnering with Betsy was so special. She's a veteran of the game. She had so much success. She took a chance on me to try to qualify for Paris, and we had such an amazing partnership. I have learned so much from her in a lot of ways because my game was very narrow-minded, I would say, before partnering with Betsy, and she really thinks about the game in a cerebral way and coming from a strategic standpoint instead of just an athletic standpoint of trying to muscle a ball or trying to just outplay someone, but it's really mindful and tactful. And so partnering with her has helped me as an athlete in a lot of ways, but mostly has grown my mind on these sides of things.
I feel like Geena is so grounded and such an amazing friend that she's just been able to help me establish trust with her so quickly. And I feel like that's one of the big things in life for me to really go after something with someone. I really want to trust them. And I feel like she's done such an amazing job at providing support, right, experience, all the things that I was looking for in a partner. She's a veteran, as you know, and so I feel like she just makes the game super easy for me and is able to support me. Last year, even though we were having such a high, I actually in my personal life wasn't necessarily having such a high, and she was just so understanding with where I was at and being able to help me not only on the court but off the court. And so I feel like that's kind of why our partnership is so unique and so connected, is that we've just established so much trust. I can go through really hard things and still be successful in what I want to pursue. I feel like me and Geena spend a lot of time working with our sports psych, and I feel like that's something that really sets you apart at the next level. Everyone can play beach volleyball at a very high level, you know, skill set wise. It's, do you have the mentality to handle it at the next level? And so I feel like that's something that I really learned about myself through pain, through hard situations, through so many things that I was going through, being able to mentally just lock in when it came to game time.
Yeah, so playing with Schalk picked me up in the sort of late mid last year, and we made a little stretch run in the last 3 FIVBs. That sort of showed me, all right, we didn't necessarily qualify for the league. It was kind of too late, too little too late at the end of, middle late of the AVP season. And that was, is a disappointment, but we also knew, like, all right, this is not just a 3 or 4 month thing probably. I think we both feel like we're more of the commitment type of people. And so yeah, we knew going into this off season, this is something I think we can build on. We felt that stability with each other. We felt this sort of positivity going into this year, and yeah, so it's been building off of that little foundation we built, and I think it's just sky's the limit for us. He helps me in innumerable ways, just teaching me a lot. I have a lot to learn, and I think I'm sort of giving him a little bit of like that youth factor, feeling the energy again, feeling the love for the game again, because I'm bringing him back into sort of the way that I'm living out, the year. So it's a good little synergy I think we have going. We kind of are going into it as like, we're going to play every tournament that we have on the schedule as hard as we possibly can. We're not going to dilly-dally and dabble and see which ones we want to play a little harder in, or play, you know, think about this one off in the future. Like that's kind of the mentality going into every week, and I think that's also helped us with our training too. It's like things are going to happen, adjustments are going to need to be made. We may make the league, we may not. You know, it's a tough qualifying system, and we have to, you know, figure out a way to make it happen. And if we don't, like, we still have a lot of goals on the table.
Being able to play with, you know, any legend of any sport is always, I feel like, a surreal experience. And especially for me, being able to actually go to Brazil and play with him there and like really see like what the legend is, right? You know, you go to some places where like the popularity isn't quite there, you know, as far as like, okay, Alisson's name isn't quite big here in the US as it is in Brazil. And so being able to witness it there was, you know, for me, one of the coolest things ever, and definitely something to aspire to. I think one thing that was really cool throughout that entire process was his vision for me as well. You know, somebody at the end of their career that's achieved as much as he has, it could very easily be like, this is my swan song, I'm going out, I'm like, you know, trying to win one more, or whatever the case may be for him, and whatever his goal was with coming to the AVP. But instead, it really felt like he was doing it for me, and his focus the entire time was always like, this is for you. This is for you to make the Olympics, Evan. Like, this moment's important for you. He's like, it doesn't matter for me anymore. Everything that we're doing right now, all the training, whatever we're doing in training, whatever we're doing in a game, whatever that timeout is, this is important for you. And that's kind of how like he framed things. And I thought that was really cool that, you know, somebody who for me is on the Mount Rushmore of blockers, I think he's a top 4 blocker of all time. And, you know, could very easily just be, he is a top 4 blocker of all time, but he's also a top 4 blocker of all time that really, really cares about other people. And I think that's something that a lot of people, if you actually watch him play on the court, he does a really good job of just showing that joy and love for the game, for others, to be able to witness that firsthand and kind of travel and really feel that in an extended period of time was really cool.
My worst day is someone's dream, and I think it's so special. And I love having a partner that I can just grind with and battle with and work super hard with. And I just think it's one of the most special, exciting, amazing sports. Bias, of course, because I play for a living, but just where we get to go and what we get to do every day is like uncomparable. It still like makes me like nauseous kind of thinking about it, and like anxious, because that was like our goal for the entire year, was to kind of qualify for the league, like the first league of the AVP, the new thing. It's what everyone wants to be a part of, and I felt like we were just getting started. And you know, we had a great tournament in Manhattan, and we're competing really well with a lot of good teams, and we technically did the work to be, you know, we were tied for 7th, and understandably they wanted to give a wild card to the Olympic gold medals. Of course, it totally makes sense, but for us, it was, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but like one of the more traumatic experiences I've ever gone through. That game was the most intense game. I played a lot of like high-level intense games, and that game was the most stressful, intense game I've ever been a part of. There wasn't really a crowd. There's a couple of our close people there. Some other athletes were there. The way it all transpired, and the lack of knowing when we were going to play and what the situation was, what the tiebreak was going to be. It was a new format. It was the league format, so we were kind of like the guinea pigs of the new format, and it goes really, really fast. The sun was kind of setting through the building, so one side you literally couldn't see. You were like blinded by the sun, and those are our buddies. Like we train and compete against Kylie DeBerg and Haley Harbert all the time, and either way it went was going to be really tough for the team who didn't make it. And unfortunately, that was Abby and I, and we were absolutely crushed. I had to take 3 weeks off of volleyball after that, because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I was so lost, and competed in Hermosa the following weekend, had to forfeit because I was in such a bad mental space. And it's just crazy, because this sport means so much to all of us. It's like our everything. This is our job. This is what we want to do. And so when it, you work so hard to get something and don't achieve it, it really can rock your world. And for me, my mental, my mind off the court, I really struggle with that. I battle with that a lot, and that was like truly one of the toughest times I've ever had in my life. And I've recovered, I've bounced back, and I think it's like sparked a new fire under us and gets us really excited for hopefully this upcoming season. Hopefully we qualify for this year.
People seeing a different level of like commitment and seriousness when it comes to this sport and just kind of like life. I think I really want to be somebody that is who I say I am, and I'm the same person kind of out there on the volleyball court that I'm out in my house, that I'm, you know, just out in the world, that I want to be somebody that reflects Jesus. As that's the biggest thing I think in my life that I feel like I've teetered with, where I stand on that. And so making those decisions and having things align through that is one of the big things that I hope people see this year. And then just, I mean, I am in it. I really want this. I want to, you know, prove that I can actually play at such a high level. And I feel things piecing together. So I think that this is the year that's to prove that. This is it. It's like, if you don't see it this year, then maybe it's time to think about different things in my life. But I really feel like I'm in a great place mentally, and volleyball-wise and physically. So let's hope that this is the path that God has for me, and that I do make a change. And so everyone can keep me accountable if you've seen this. Ooh, my partner this year is Theo Brunner. Played with Trevor Crabb last year. He's been involved in beach volleyball for a very long time. You could list all of his partners, and I'm the least qualified to play with this human, but I'm forever grateful, and I think it's going to be a fun year.